GPL week number 1, day number 2, group stage. Second group stage, actually.
Second group stage. The first one, of course, with the 16 teams, has been cut down. Half of them have been axed.
Yeah.
And now we're in group stage 2, we have 8 teams. And 2 of them are playing for us today. The first game, however, went over to the Saigon Jokers. The second game between the Insidious Gaming Legends and Saigon Jokers will be up in a bit. But let's talk about what happened the previous game. I think IGL were in the driver's seat for majority of the late game. And it all came down to that one fight.
Oh man, I mean, they've been winning fight after fight. We talked about it in the break, in between games 1 and this. They really kind of respected the champion and the prowess of the players, Nixwater, especially Lovita as well. And then kind of SAJ played a little bit of a sneaky move, sent Safety, who doesn't really do all too well in these kind of team fights where he just kind of gets bursted down into the AoE, sends him for a split push mission, and then SAJ kind of dances around this 4v5, eggs on IGL to actually blow their ultimates, blow their cooldowns, and they did. They successfully managed to bait IGL and turn the fight around, gets the ace, gets the game.
Yeah, and at the end we saw Safety just sitting at the Nexus, hitting it away, very happy, knowing he didn't have to participate in any of the danger of a team fight, but still padding his MVP score anyway. But we are into picks and bans immediately. We'll get that up on your screen very soon. There we go.
Yeah, Safety in that last stage of the game was probably like right click and then he left his left hand at his QWER.
Drink some water.
I was like, hey guys, take a break. It's cool. It's cool.
So the bans now. Lissandra Maokai immediately once again targeted Nixwater, which is not too bad of a ban. I don't think Jarvan will be.
4 of the same bans that we saw in game 1.
4 of the same bans. Kalista, one of the strongest AD carries now in the meta. Definitely not gonna get through for either side.
Rek'Sai now being banned out from the Saigon Jokers here.
And Insidious Gaming Legends have the blue side first pick. The Morgana should be option. Was taken away by SAJ the previous game. But now, Rapier will get his hands on it. Well, it could be the mid lane or top lane.
Yeah. LY4, you're absolutely right.
Morgana, one of the better flex picks of this patch.
Or at least in this team especially. Because you have many of the players that really like kind of pulling out their champion out of the blue as well.
Yeah, they're all very comfortable on this Morgana.
Yeah, Janna is available as that other support that you might want to pick up. Very safe in the lane. Did get nerfed a bit on the passive as well, the Tailwind passive. But hey, Saigon Jokers here might be going for one of those strong jungle picks that they always love to do.
Yeah, so Jarvan being taken away as well as Rek'Sai and Lee Sin. I won't be surprised if they pick something up here like a Rengar. Yeah, there we go. Safety Rengar. First time we've probably seen it in the GPL, locking it in immediately. So Saigon Jokers showing their hand straight away. They want to play the Pointman Rengar composition. It's normally filled up with champions like Sivir, you know, stuff that can boost the Rengar to get him into the fight very quickly. Maybe even the Orianna. However, Lovida not really the Orianna play. It's more of his substitute Carrot, who's normally on the Orianna. But instead, we're going to see what SAJ decides to pick up. For Insidious Gaming Legends, however, Cannon and Graves, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And those two champions and the players that play them very well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Hungry Kid. I mean, not much to talk about IGL. They're just sticking to their guns. They made a very crucial mistake at the latest part of the game, in the game number 1, that cost them the victory. But hey, Nixwater here not hovering, but locking in the Lulu. That could very well go to Lovita as well.
Yeah, Lovita could very well pick up that mid lane Lulu or even the top lane Lulu. Nixwater, big champion pool, but I wonder how Saigon Jokers are going to respond to this Graves pickup here. They went for the Jinx the previous game and did work out very well for them. Not in lane, however, but in the late game fights, because in the lane it was more of Valkyrie taking the lead in CS. But when it hit the late game fights, he was just sitting in the back, Jinx auto-attacking time after time, and no one could reach him.
Yeah, I honestly expected change in tactics coming out from both these teams, but it does seem like both SAJ and IGL are sticking to their guns right now.
Very interesting that they showed the early Rengar Lulu and then decided, you know what, we'll go with something different instead, not playing that very famed power everything on the Rengar and rush into the fight composition.
The Sivir, Rengar, you got the Lulu, you know, just a bunch of stuff. Now probably only the support left to pick from the side of Saigon Jokers, and right now IGL hovering over the brand. I don't think we're gonna see the brand being locked in here.
It isn't season 1 anymore, and Shushe has retired, so no brand today.
We did see brand in the Bard Champion Spotlight video, but hey,
not today, guys.
Not today.
Open picking the Xerath would be very daring, considering LeBlanc is still open as well. Nidalee jungle for Hallelujah here would not be too bad of an issue, because if you pick up that Nidalee and Xerath, you can basically avoid fights.
Huge siege coming in.
It's a huge siege composition.
Ari coming up as well. I mean, think about it, Cannon, like you said, very good counter initiator. Morgana is another one of those
Yeah.
champions that can launch those counter initiating. I do like the Nidalee and the Ahri in this case. Let's see how IGL kind of changes their playstyle. So not going for that all-in comp that we saw in game number 1. Needs to work on their positioning a little bit more in this game. Siege down the turrets and out-rotate with the high mobility champions of Ahri, Nidalee, Cannon in this game.
Yeah, and you know, when you talk to the pros in the jungle, or the junglers rather, who feel that Nidalee is right now one of the strongest junglers because she doesn't really lose any matchups and she finds 1v1s so simply. If you land the spear, you're going to chain into a lot of damage on the enemy jungler or the mid laner. So I think picking that up in Cities Gaming Legends will be very happy. Su going back onto his trademark Alistar here. And for you, or rather the uninitiated who don't know who Su is or why his Alistar is so famous, well, he was the one who more or less pioneered the roaming cow, or the mad roaming cow as J-Storm likes to call it, where at level 3 or level 2 he'll start roaming around, ganking mid, get a lot of deep vision down for his team, and just basically make life hell for the rest of the map.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, Saigon Jokers here, they had many different playstyles throughout the season. They are, or not throughout the season, throughout the many years that they've been in the GPL. Split push has been one of their little bit of a characteristics. Su's roaming cow is the next one.
Yeah, it's been a mainstay of the team. It's something they default to whenever they feel like they can go around it, and with the composition that Cities Gaming Legends has drafted, there's not a lot of gap closers before level 6. If you hit mid lane with a pulverized headbutt, you could very well guarantee a kill for Lavida. If you hit the top lane, well, you can't electrical surge away when you get knocked back into the team. So I think SAJ here have a lot of tools at their disposal to ensure a good laning phase, which is something they were looking for desperately in the previous game.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if Prince can really expand his champion pool a little bit here, because Jinx doesn't really fit in this team composition all too well. With much rather the Sivir come up for this composition, just press R, go all in. You've got Alistar, you've got Lulu, you've got Gnar, you've got Rengar. It just obliterates teams.
Honestly, I have to agree with you. Honestly, Sivir would be the better champion in this case as well, because at level 2, you can start pushing up the wave with your Ricochet, and that avails Su to roam even easier as compared to the Jinx, who has to consume mana very intensively.
And she can't really sit in lane safely as well, so I don't it makes me wonder if there will be a lane swap. Will Su actually be the one roaming? We will have to see.
Because if you look at the nature of the matchup, right, you have to use your Flame Chompers to zone when you want to escape. Like, obviously with the Black Shield, you're not going to get CC'd, and you can just run up to Prince, exhaust him, or even just bind him in the face. Whereas Sivir, you have a bit of leeway to play around with the spell shield. And I think Prince is going to be beating himself up a little if he gets caught out by those bindings.
Exactly. I liken that Black Shield to the Flame Chompers like when Mario picks up coins.
Yeah.
He just steps on all 3 of them.
Just step and be happy. But guys, now we have a short video of Insidious Gaming Legends for you all we're going to bring up. Once again, done by a very creative team at the Vietnamese Garena.
Yeah, very talented. We're hovering in the middle
we're
of
in the middle of your screen, but take a look at the plays here. Insidious Gaming Legends, Valkyrie just going ham on the enemy team. It was that rumble by Hallelujah that just really massacred the enemy team. Hallelujah, honestly, not the standard top laner, but this was one of those games where Insidious Gaming Legends just swapped around their roster. It's one of their skills, honestly, as a team. They can fill each other's roles when they need to play champions that other people don't play.
Can I just say that both Hallelujah and LY4 have a very strong eyeliner game going on as well.
Very strong eyeliner game.
And so has Valkyrie. But anyway, that's right, you got all the key players here. Of course, it will be LY4, just kind of holding his own against Nixwater, the other key member of SAJ here. And look at the goal per minute, nothing to scoff at as well. KDA skyrocketing 12.53.
Yeah, and these two teams, when you come, or rather in this matchup, when you look at it, they're both second place finishers in their own domestic league. Of course, SAJ in the VCSAs, the Vietnamese Championship Series A, and for Insidious Gaming Legends, it was the TLC Winter 2014, where they came in second to Thirsty Chinchillas, and now exiting Group Stage 1. Both teams were first place. It's going to be the deciding game here, whether it's going to be a 1-1 draw or 2-0 to SAJ.
That's right. I mean, IGL, I mean, if we take yesterday's game, in comparison, the very opening match of the second group stage of the GPL, Bangkok Titans against Alpha Ultimate. I mean, I really didn't expect Saigon Jokers to falter in game number 1. I really thought that if IGL did not make the mistake, they could have taken it. I really think that SAJ is going to up the ante a little bit in game number 2. And let's see how IGL is going to really respond to this one, because, hey, they brought out a roaming cow right now. And
yeah, this is very textbook SAJ here. You pick the hyper carry for Prince, you go for that roaming cow, you get that sort of, well, not really control mage, but Lulu does fit the jack of all trades role
Yeah,
here for
he
SAJ.
does. Speed up the Rengar, speed up the Gnar. I mean, it's just a devastating monster combo coming out from Saigon Jokers. I mean, we can harp on Silver all day long, but hey, I think Prince is, as you can see, he favors Jinx quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even when the composition was hard to engage, pick composition, well, we're just gonna go Jinx anyway
Yeah.
and pray for the best. Like, cross our fingers and pray for the best. Prince, you're on your own.
And Prince, some would say, draws a lot of attention as well in the late game. Sometimes he, just a few items on that carry, puts you in such a very dangerous position. 2 core items coming on in with the Infinity Edge and a critical strike item.
Yeah.
And Jinx can just kind of roll face on you if you leave her unchecked.
Yeah, if she procs 2 crits back to back, she's gonna get a reset, and SAJ are gonna be very happy with
It's
that.
not just 2 crits, Hungry Kid. It's 2 AoE
Yeah,
critical
AoE
strikes.
crits. Those are the stuff of my nightmares, guys.
Ah.
Right here, SAJ starting out on the red side and on the blue side in Insidious Gaming Legends. The Singaporean team will be looking to equal out the score to at least take 1 point back with them when they see each other for the next game.
Let's see how this is gonna turn out here. Nixwater throws out that boomerang. LY4 with that shuriken again. What do you think about the new Yordle matchup here, Hungry Kid?
Well, not really a new Yordle matchup, I guess, but both teams very comfortable with this. They both
Yeah.
picked into this,
It-
obviously.
Exactly.
And previously, it went heavily in the favor of Nixwater, but LY4 showed up tremendously in team fights, I want to say. So,
I don't know. I remember the laning phase with LY4 actually keeping up in terms
Yeah.
of CS. So
he was slightly behind, but I think that's the nature of it because Nixwater, with the easily accessible stunts, has more kill pressure as compared to Nixwater.
yeah,
So
you're right.
it's gonna be up to the junglers, I think, this game. If Safety can come in for a gank and make LY4 feel very unsafe, or whether Hallelujah can land those stunts when they lock up Nixwater and going for that first damage in the form of the full Cougar combination.
Yeah, and I want to cast our minds back to the Unfought Ultimate Bangkok Titans game number 2, where Unfought Ultimates were the one that picked the Nidalee jungle. Bangkok Titans here abuse the fact that Nidalee is kind of weak in the jungle when she's not alone. When she's alone and she faced more than one
Yeah.
champion. And that's what they did. On the second buff, they went on and invaded the jungle and just kind of dumpstered on Nidalee in the jungle. And they constantly did that in the early and mid-game stages, and it seems like they are going to do this right now on the side of Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on the Nidalee jungle would be the smart choice here. Safety starting on the blue side. Su coming around for the gank. The Tri-Brush has not been spotted out. He has
wow.
the empowered bola available if he so chooses. Su coming in for the gank.
See if he's going to get it. Oh, gets a hit, but pulverized down. Rapier is the one that will eat up the first blood here. I mean, great Black Shield, protect your carry, but hey, sometimes supports need to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, Su was so smart to hit, but Valkyrie in that instance, and even though he managed to flash way well, hit but still connected onto Rapier. Without the Black Shield, it was certain death after that.
Yeah, exactly. He used Valkyrie as kind of that pivot to kind of jump on in, get the hit but down as well.
And once again, looking very comfortable in this champion.
Yeah.
As compared to the previous game where his Annie not as on point as his Alistar this game. Two members of SAJ trying to put some pressure onto Hallelujah's Nidalee jungle here, but not succeeding, unfortunately.
Here's the problem with that Nidalee jungle. Strong jungler, yes, very, very versatile, but the early level clear, horrendous.
Yeah, really, really bad. But then again, that can be said for all the junglers now,
Yeah.
with the rather strong changes to the jungle.
But Nidalee especially, in my opinion.
SAJ here, 1 kill on the support. Su gonna be very happy when he recalls, picks up that boots and wards as he normally does, and gets some deep vision for his team. SAJ likes to get some safe vision for the mid lane and Lavida here, as the Lulu. Taking a lot of harass though.
Rune obviously very comfortable with that champion. No LeBlancs being showed here, of course, in this game. But nevertheless, I mean, the Ahri against Lulu matchup, Ahri in general has just kind of outranges Lulu a little bit, unless, of course, you use the help pick Glitter Lens to try to extend your range of the Glitter Lens.
Even
but
that uses up a lot of mana.
exactly. Overall, you just really don't have a very good time against Ahri in the lane.
Su picked up an early boots of mobility, so that's gonna signal to his team as well as Insidious Gaming Legends that he wants to pick up the roam very quickly.
He wants to, but can Prince hold the lane on his own? That's my question.
The wave is pushing out for IGL, but just as I say that, the buckshot clears it into their favor, so...
Oh, flash, 4 flash coming up in the mid lane here. Rune looking for blood, and you can see Hallelujah just jumping on in with that Cougar form as well. Hitting one of those spears can really increase the range of your pounds to some absurd levels.
And not to mention with the percentage damage that your takedown does on Nidalee in your Cougar form, a lot of kill pressure when he arrives for the gank. Lovida burning splash keeps safe, not too bad though, but every time in the mid lane, if a charm connects, it's going to be a lot of problems for Lovida to keep up with.
This support battle is going to be interesting. Can Rapier land the Black Shield before the hitbutt?
Yeah, that's going to be what it comes down to, because if he lands a good hit but pulverize well, it's going to be a lot of damage for SAJ, and Valkyrie can't really trade back as well as he should.
Yeah. LY4 right now just kind of dueling it out with Nixwater here. Both these champions just kind of duking it in the top lane now. What does spot out the Rengar roam coming out from safety. Level 3 compared to the level 4 of Hallelujah. Very interesting game coming out from both these teams. Very disciplined, I feel, from both IGL and Saigon Jokers.
Interesting that the focus of this game, safety, has been putting it on the bot lane as compared to the previous game where he pressured Rune a lot and got Lovida ahead. I think that has to be due to the nature of the matchup. Lulu against Ari isn't as kill heavy as Alistair Jinx in the bot lane, so knowing where to put his pressure on the most successful ganking lanes, safety really understands the matchups very well.
This time though, he might make an attempt in the mid lane. Glitter Dance does not land, so Rune here in a little bit of a nice position. In addition to that, the Orb of Deception, the Glitter Dance now lands. Will safety actually go on in? Rune does get taken down to about half HP. Lovida dodging out all those Orbs of Deception, so no trades coming in. And whoa! 4-man gank in the mid lane. Am I seeing things here, Hungry Kid?
No, you aren't necessarily seeing things. It was a 4-man gank. It was just to come up and preempt the counter gank. I believe they saw Nidalee when she was walking to the brush, so they knew that a gank was coming. Just wanted to be safe with 4 members. But now, once again, an early dragon being taken by SAJ here. They constantly have the early vision control, and this is something that has allowed them the early takes on dragons very successfully.
Yeah, Smite easily allows safety to pick that one up. They will get the timing onto dragon. IGL, of course, gets the ward down with Rapier. Hasn't hit a Dark Binding in the lane yet, I have to say. Rapier maybe a little bit rusty on that Q. I was actually talking to Vera about this, one of the other semi-pro players in Singapore. I mean, he says that Morgana is such an easy champion to play because every time your Q's on cooldown, we'll just play safe. Every time my Q's up on cooldown, I'll play aggressive. If you're line and binding, we'll go all in.
Yeah, and that is how you should be looking to go in this lane, considering if you black shield yourself after you land the binding, your soul shackle is definitely connecting.
Yep.
And Prince will go down, or at least be forced to use both his summoners, and that avails you to trade against him once again when the window of opportunity presents itself. So
and that's like on a what, 9-8 second cooldown on the Dark Binding? It's ridiculous right here. LY4 again, still keeping out with that CS here. The Yordle against Yordle matchup. It's just at times Nixwater is going to be pushing in, at times LY4 will be pushing out. It's just a tug of war here in the top lane.
Yeah, I think he's slightly behind the CS considering he recalled in the recent past to pick up that Seeker's arm guard as well as a couple of wards and boots. So,
man, 3 CS up, 3 CS down against a Nara. I'd probably take it any day.
Yeah, 3 CS down, definitely not an issue. But with the items, looking to itemize a bit more defensively. Previously, he went immediately into that needlessly large rod, whereas now going for the Seeker's arm guard, paying a lot more respect to Nixwater and the ganks coming from Rengar.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he does so much physical damage when he hits level 6. LY4 has to be safe.
He really wants to be safe, and you know, sometimes you just can't preempt those Rengar ganks. The moment the Empower Bowler strikes you, you're basically in for a bunch of trouble.
Yeah, but with the Slicing Maelstrom, it's going to buy him some time if he gets caught by the bowler, because it's not hard CC in the sense that it disables you, it only roots you in place. So definitely some area for counterplay here for LY4.
Yeah, and I really like how this game number 2 is actually going on between both these teams. They're actually trying to preempt each other, and you will see IGL actually make advances into the opposing jungle. SAJ, on the other hand, will be looking for those counter ganks, trying to put those pressure onto the lane, trying to spot out where Hallelujah is going to go. I really like the little bit of mind games that are going on between both these teams here.
looks like a response to their very scrappy, fight-heavy Game 1. Game 2, more disciplined, more focus on getting vision and information and outplaying the enemy team, out-rotating them, setting traps for them as you put. This is something I like to see in League of Legends. Very good mind gaming and planning and forethought.
I mean, they need to be a little bit more disciplined after, like you said, those scrappy fights overall. And hey, I'm not gonna complain thus far. I mean, SAJ, they do want to make it a 2-0. IGL really wants to take that one back there. The win was really in their grasp. They kind of let it go there in Game 1.
1 point gonna be very useful for them when they take on other members of their group. Bit of a lull in the game.
Yeah.
Take a look at the itemization here. Once again,
our OB actually showing us all the pink ward placements from the side of SAJ. 4 pink wards on the entire map. But yeah, you're talking about the...
Yeah, take a look at the itemization once again. Hallelujah going for the Hunters. Trailblazer safety once again going for that chilling smite upgrade. So both junglers sticking to their guns in terms of upgrades in the jungle item department.
Oh,
Safety has popped his ultimate.
Ooh, gets hit by that chunk in terms of that javelin. Will be forced to back away from that one as well.
Yeah, very smart there. There was that one ward in the pixel brush along the river for IGL that managed to spot out the outing Rengar, and that was what gave IGL enough time to back off.
I like how a pixel on Summoner's Rift is like a square wide brush, but yeah, you're right. I mean, predicting where safety will be puffing, just throwing out kind of a seeking javelin, finds him, deters the entire gang altogether.
Hallelujah, in a bit of trouble here in the back. He has rune for safety. If he connects the charm, they could go back in on this, but doesn't look to be the case here.
Yeah, you mean those spears really, you know, Lovita here needs to be really antsy on his feet to dodge that one out. Dark Binding lands onto Su, now onto Prince. Su's gonna just take just a tiny little bit of damage, walk away from that one.
Bit inconsequential considering Triumph from Row will heal him up.
Yeah, you're right.
Looks like
again, keeping up 3 CS deficit the entire game.
top lane is very evenly matched, but it looks like for Hallelujah here, the Megas Enchantment will be the first order of business. Wonder if he'll go into a tier. It's a bit late to go into the tier upgrade now. It's 12 minutes in. You normally want that before 10 minutes to charge up before 20 minutes. So hopefully he picks that up real soon, or even going for the Lich Bane is something I've seen a lot of the jungle nillies do these days.
Yeah, and there we go. A little bit of back and forth once again in the bottom lane. Triumphant Roar is going to heal them back up quite healthily. And as long as Prince doesn't make those over-connecting mistakes there in the lane, nothing should happen. First turret of the game though will go over to the Insidious Gaming Legends squad in the mid lane.
Yeah, puts them about 1,200 gold ahead with the tower take. Has to do with how much pressure Hallelujah has been exerting in the mid lane, constantly visiting Lavida, making sure he doesn't have a safe laning phase. You could see the disparity compared to game 1. The pink wards in the mid lane definitely in favor of IGL as compared to the previous game. SAJ just lit up both sides of that mid lane with pink wards and normal vision wards, so side wards, excuse me. So definitely a big difference in this game.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, overall, just a really quiet game, but like I said, a lot of mind games, a lot of vision control coming out, and I think we both agree that, you know, it will get exciting and really explosive very soon.
Yeah, but vision control is something that IGL really needs in this game because they are playing the quintessential IGL pick composition, which is Ari Morgana. You basically throw out a charm, or a Dark Binding. If it connects, then you just pile all the damage onto that one person. If it doesn't,
the ultimate in the mid lane though. You've got Rune. The knockout comes on in, and the bowler does not land the second time here. The charm for defensive maneuvers. No summoner spells being burned, and that's a lot of ultimates being spared and used on to the IGL mid laner Rune. This might open up a good dragon attempt coming out from the side of Insidious Gaming Legends. They do not have the vision actually that has just been cleared out, and now the bowler strike will land onto dragon. This will be attempted right now by the Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, things are going down. Su taking a lot of damage here. The collateral damage as well available. Dark Binding not really up. Next water teleporting here to provide some support.
Oh, Rapier actually using the Soul Shackles coming in will actually land onto Prince. Prince gets chunked down to about half HP. We will see LY4 jump on in. Safety actually forced to flash away from this one. The smite comes out, goes over to Insidious Gaming Legends right now, and there we will have the flash from Prince. LY4 really coming up big with that teleport as well as the slicing maelstrom here. Root looking for the charm, will not land it. That should have been an easy charm. Prince might get taken down here. Gets the flash, gets the ignite now, and there we go. Rune picking up 1 kill. Can he get a second one? The charm should be coming off of cooldown very shortly. Lands it onto Su, and there we go. Oh wow, just a little bit of HP there, less than 10 coming up. And oh,
It was the spear.
yeah,
It
was
was
the
the
javelin
spear
off
from-
from the side. I wasn't taking a look at the minimap. I was trying to figure out how much HP Su actually had off that side as well. And overall, let's see. Prince died, Su died, Safety had to flash away, and IGL got Dragon.
Yeah, I think that went really badly for SAJ when Nyx were teleported down without Mega Gnar available, and the moment LY4 entered the fight, it was just game over for the Vietnamese team here. Getting caught once again, Prince so shackled into Dark Binding meant that he could not be part of the fight to deal damage, and Insidious Gaming Legends could just take the Dragon and mop up the rest of the fight there.
Yeah,
Sonya's Hourglass immediately being completed on the recall here for LY4, so a big power spike available to IGL. They could consistently just keep taking these fights, considering the team composition that they drafted is so good now with the added advantage.
Yeah, the quintessential pick comp, and the fact that IGL is a team that really has that bloodlust in them and knows when to pick those team fights, allow them to just instantly turn on their Dragon attempt.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that historically, LY4 is someone who really excels on these top lane AP champions, and we've seen his MVP plays on Rumble well. Cannon is sort of like Rumble in the sense that you arrive in a fight, you lay down your ultimate, you make a huge impact, and then you help your team turn the tides of the fight. And he's been doing that spectacularly this game.
They're gonna trade turret for turret, the bot lane for the top lane turret. Prince here actually getting his farm game up, but a 3-man strong push here compared to the 3-man strong push in the bottom. Let's see who actually takes down this turret first. It's gonna be a little bit of a race here. Hallelujah might get pinned up by both Safety as well as Su. Prince now jumping on in, and he just kind of walks in onto the turret. The exhaust is actually being used. He will have his pounce. Let's see if he's able to get away from this one. The zap is gonna land. He gets hit by the Empower Bowler as well, and there we go. However, the turret here will get defended successfully by the Saigon Jokers. Oh, how successful is it gonna be? They're gonna lose this one as well. Can they trade the bottom lane tier 2 for the top lane tier 2? Let's see. Prince here, queen of turret taking. Jinx with that power will be able to take this one down as well. So 2 turrets for 2 turrets, and only Hallelujah goes down in that trade.
Yeah, so SAJ coming up big in that trade. They had to burn a lot of resources to get a kill into the Nidalee, so not too much of an issue there. IGL could take this fight if they find it. Slicing Maelstrom available and Spirit Rush as well. So I think that SAJ in that instance, they did come out slightly ahead, but 3,000 gold behind is still 3,000 gold.
Yeah. I want to cast our mind backs to that little bit of a fight that happened in the Dragon there, and cast our mind back a little bit more to the gank onto Rune, where the Throw of the Hunt as well as Wild Growth was used. And when we talk about windows of opportunity, IGL really burst down the doors right there in that Dragon fight, knowing that those 2 major ultimates were actually down. Lulu's ultimate especially gives you so much additional durability that you really underestimate it for a very long time.
And this is something we always talk about when we profile IGL as a team. They're a team that's great on capitalizing weaknesses and windows of opportunity, but similarly, they're also a team that tends to get a bit tunneled on certain objectives and styles of play at points in time, which results in them slipping up and giving away very free and simple objectives.
Yeah, right. They get a bit cocky sometimes
Yeah.
when they're
The
in the lead.
disciplines occasionally does not appear for the team, and that's something they have to fix when they come to this level of play.
Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of that, Insidious Gaming Legends going deep into the jungle of SAJ wants to get some vision. The Jokers have knowledge of this. Smiting the Wolf Spirit. Smiting the Wolf provides the Spirit for them, and the Charm onto Su. Bit of damage, not too much though.
Yeah. Safety will have his ultimate available shortly. Nixward is actually charging up the Mega now, waltzing and hopping his way down to the mid lane area. But look at the amount of wards coming out from IGL. We talk about vision control and we talk about how much they need the vision control. They definitely have the vision control right now. But they're all going to recall, so no attempt on that turret just yet from them. A lot of items being picked up though.
This is fine though. The wards will last another 2 minutes or so, and they'll provide IGL with information on where to get the picks and where to find these picks before the dragon spawns, or rather during the spawning and contention of dragon. So IGL here grouping up once again. If they find a pick onto Safety or even just Prince alone, that should be a simple kill and dragon take for them.
Yeah, easy objective pick coming in, and if you can see, the wards in the top half of the map have sort of expired now, but they have kind of set up vision in the bottom half of the map, in all those entrances to the Dragon Pit area as well. Saigon Jokers have only one lone ward just off in that pixel brush down by the dragon here, and right now ISG Legends really pressuring down this mid lane very strongly.
The unfortunate issue here is they don't have the Rek'Sai, which provides them the tremor sense like the previous game. However, safety just going in.
Oh, safety, you're gonna just get completely obliterated. Wild Growth is not gonna save you at all. Soul Shackles will land onto Su. Prince does get hit by the Dark Binding. Nixwater comes on in from the side. Valkyrie does get taken down though. Nixwater is in the toughness of the fight. He's actually able to get away from this one. And then we see Hallelujah tries to get a snipe on in. He misses the Javelin, but Rune with the flash and all attack will be enough to pick up that kill. It's going to be a 1-for-3 trade. Can they get a turret though? Are they going to continue pushing, or will they take down Dragon here?
Yeah, this Jinx pick for SAJ not really working out at all. Prince has been caught out time and time again by these bindings. At the start of the fight, he got caught out by one. In the middle of the fight, he got caught out by another binding. And at the end, he got caught out by another binding. So when we talked about it in the pre-game, he's going to be kicking himself over the bindings that he catches. Well, Prince not showing up big in that fight. Yes, he managed to get one reset. At the end of the day, he still went down, and this is a dragon for IGL and a turret as well.
Yeah, I might sound like an old man here, but just hypothesize with me. Just imagine what would have happened if that was a Sivir with On the Hunt charging in with Gnar as well as Rengar. That would have turned out very differently, but like you said, I mean, Prince here going in, tunneling in onto that Jinx here may not be the very best pick in the entire world.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they picked up the Sivir in this situation, they could use the On the Hunt to either run away from the Slicing Maelstrom or engage when Cannon is in there and pick off someone else. And
before he actually arrives.
That's basically what SAJ has to do in this when they're facing up against this Cannon semi-pick composition of Morgana and Ahri as well. So the vision control for IGL is just immense here, as our observer is showing us. Deep in the jungle of SAJ are wards aplenty. Su looking to get some vision back for his team. They want to ward up around Baron because that's where they know they can take the big fights. The Baron pit itself is a huge threat when Mega Gnar goes in, as well as when Lovita uses his Wild Growth. You can lock up multiple members, and Nixwater knows this.
Oh, LY4 will be dueling it out with Nixwater. There we go. The charge coming in, the lightning rush here from LY4 will be able to save his life there, but this top lane outer turret will go down to Saigon Jokers. Let's see what the response is coming out from ISG Legends. Ooh, Nixwater finds Rapier now in the jungle as well. Is he going to continue chasing with the Hyper? It jumps on in, and there we see the Gnar coming up big here. Rapier is the first one to go down. LY4 will have to use his Zhonya's Hourglass, and Nidalee gets the pick onto safety. LY4, can he get away from this one? There we see off to the side, Valkyrie has not joined the fight at all. Double kill coming out from Prince, as well as the shutdown going over to Lovita here. Ooh! Spear nearly landing out onto Nixwater. They managed to get 2 turrets as well as 3 kills, only losing safety in the process. And SAJ here finds the fight that they really want. And like I said, how does IGL respond? They respond half-heartedly, and they get picked off in their own jungle.
And that was them once again just tunneling onto, trying to get a pick on the top side without even realizing that Valkyrie was on the bottom side of the map, split pushing for his team. And that's a big issue when you're running an AoE composition. You need everyone to be there. You need to pick a 5v5 fight. And you need to come out ahead with that crowd control. In that instance, Nixwater got a great Mega Gnar ultimate, and it just swung the fight in the favor of the Vietnamese team.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Gnar. He has the hop, he has the hyper, and he can easily reposition himself at the right time. Perfect time, I have to say, as well. Jumping in as Mega Gnar comes on up, uses the wallop, uses the ultimate, and just push him back. Instead of pushing it to the wall, he pushes them back so that the rest of the team can kind of have a piecemeal in that fight as well.
Allowing the rest of the team to collapse is very important when you have this Rengar Alistair combination, because you need to buy time for them to get in range of their crowd control. IGL making use of the strong side of the map that they have positioned the vision around, which is very smart of them. So they're not totally out the game
blue
here.
buff has been resetting 2-3 times here.
Very resilient blue buff.
Very resilient.
But while in the process of all of that, SAJ manages to push down the mid lane. Once again, it's another turret for this team here. Get excited.
Rotations are strong in the Jokers right now.
SAJ, one thing that they do not lack is the map movement and the smart coordination as a team. Even though going into fights, they might be a bit disjointed, but when it comes down to taking objectives as a team, they're very good with that.
Yeah. Hallelujah here actually picking up the Rod of Ages to help with his mana issues as well as the, yeah, definitely the Magus enchantment here alongside the Sorcerer Shoes. So really good stuff coming out from Hallelujah. 5 stacks I believe on the side of Rod of Ages.
Oh, they used the Frost Queen's Claim to try and make a pick onto Su, but even at the end of the day, that's not who you want. So if he uses his out Throw of the Hunt to spot out the Baron attempt, or the Baron bait rather, doesn't see anyone in the vicinity. In the top lane, Prince is pushing the wave out, so SAJ are not grouped here. IGL could find a fight if they get the flank onto Nick's water here.
Yeah, they're really trying to. They want to get this mid lane turret possibly as well. They have some weighted wards on the red side of the map for the Saigon Jokers. They need to get a little bit more vision down to prevent any sort of flanks, especially that might come in from Su and turn it around with a Mega Gnar ultimate coming out from Nick's water.
Yeah, the tricky thing is that IGL cannot siege because of the low range of Graves and the hard engage that SAJ possesses with the Mega Gnar and the Throw of the Hunt. IGL are always in an exposed position whenever they set up a siege here, so they have to resort to finding these baits, which SAJ, granted, is very smart at detecting. They send the tankiest member of SAJ to go and investigate Su with the Unbreakable Will we saw there. Could just back off, but IGL know this and they're starting the Baron, seeing that Prince is on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, Safety is going to drop this ward that Baron is already down to about 3000 HP. Safety wants to try to jump in onto this one. Actually flashes on in. Hallelujah managing to get a smite out. The Slicing Maelstrom will take down Su as well as Safety. Valkyrie gets one kill. Rapier gets another, and then we will see a little bit of a tussle in the middle of the Dragon Pit here. Nyx Water will turn into Mega Gnar very soon. The charm does not land. He jumps on a great Dark Binding coming out from Rapier, and then we go to Warlock will also miss, and Nyx Water will be forced to flash, not flash away, but jump away from, crunch away from this one. Hallelujah managing to get the Empowered Recall down. The Dark Binding will not land. Oh, Rune. Oh, that's a nice quick flash coming out from him. Prince does not have the Super Mega Death Rocket available, and there we go. 2 kills and the Baron buff.
Yeah, Prince showed on the bottom side of the map, and that was what allowed IGL to start the Baron. The Legends team just bursted it down so quickly and managed to pick up the buff and take the fight after that because it was a 4-5. And using the Super Mega Death Rocket at the start, I think that was a desperation play by Prince because he wanted to get the reset, to get excited, and basically run there as quick as possible. Didn't really pay off the gamble in itself. If he saved it for the end of the fight, he could have mopped up the members of IGL, but instead using it early, big mistake there.
Scuttle Crab, Speed Shrine, going over to IG Legends now. Let's see, Baron number 3, I believe.
Dragon number 3, rather.
Oh yeah, Dragon number 3 coming up from the IS Insidious Gaming Squad here. Dragon's Flight will be gifted to them right now. 5% additional movement speed, and in a pick comp like this is all that they really need.
Yeah, the Orb of Deception is going to be doing massive amounts of work here for Rune as well. Because of the bonus movement speed, you'll be able to land those charms. And if a charm connects onto someone like Lavida or Safety, you could blow them up.
Safety with his ultimate again. Will not find anyone at all. No luck with that Rengar Lulu combination at all this game.
Yeah, they managed to find Hallelujah, but he hops over the wall. And that's the end of that. SAJ.
This is why Nidalee is such a scary jungler. I mean, scary champion in general. It's so hard to catch her.
Her mobility is definitely one of the big issues now with her kit, I feel.
Oh, what is this? We will see a 4-man push down the middle lane, and Mega Gnar is going to expire soon on the side of Nyx Water.
Yeah.
Mini Gnar now appears with the mid lane turret down to about half HP, including that shield. Let's see if ISG Legends will be able to take this one successfully. Wow, this fight coming out. Super Mega Death Rocket will be dodged away from this turret, slowly but surely going down. And there we go, IGL here with a turret pickup in the mid lane. Hallelujah, really chunking big on those Nidalee spears as well.
Yeah, his Rod of Ages has almost stacked to max amount. It's at 9 stacks
right
now, and with the needlessly large rod as well. So that's doing a lot of damage. Prince can't really get into the fight. He's zoned out so hard by the bindings as well as the spears here. Hallelujah looking to connect another one. There we go into Lavida. Fight has to break up very soon. Throw of the Hunt will be available in a couple of seconds. Mega Gnar here being popped by Nyx Water. When it expires, that's a 15-second window that IGL will avail themselves to. Blue buff for Hallelujah would be very good here.
They're actually going to gift it away to Rune now. Hallelujah, probably looking for those recalls now. Has the needlessly large rod as well, so those javelins are gonna hurt. This is gonna turn out to be very much like a mid or top lane Nidalee instead of a jungle Nidalee with the items that he's getting so far.
This does look like a replay from game 1 where IGL controlled the mid to late game so well with a 5,000 gold lead from dragon fights, from skirmishes in the jungle. Unlike the first game though, they could rather execute this push better, considering they are playing a composition they're more comfortable with. The Morgana Ari definitely working out in their favor.
I think they were quite confident with that previous composition as well, but I think they don't want to make the same mistakes they did in game number 1. And if you think about who has the possibility of split pushing here, maybe Nixwater, but the amount of wave clear that he has not built that bruiser kind of off carry Gnar formation.
I would even wager at this point that Y4 can duel out Nixwater pretty well.
Oh man, yeah, he can. He has the Rylai's, has the ability to kite Nixwater for ages here, and the Zhonya's Hourglass just to give him that little bit more stasis time as well.
Yeah, Ping's in the top side. IGL want to siege up this top turret.
I like
how
assertive they are in terms of their playstyle in this game as well. They are not waiting around anymore. They are a little bit more.
Oh,
you know,
the spear.
Oh, that's a lot of damage right there. Su will get caught up right now. Rune tries to go in for the pick, and LY4 just jumps on in with the slicing maelstrom. Picks up 2 members of the team, and there we go. The teleport there from Nixwater will get instantly cancelled out, and this should be the base race in IG Legends' favor. Now the inhibitor goes down. Nixwater now has to recall. He doesn't even take down that turret in the bottom lane. Nexus turret number 1 goes down. Will Nexus turret number 2. Oh, Lovita gets caught here. He has to use the wild growth on himself, but to no avail. Hallelujah gets hit butted into the fountain. But nevertheless, this Nexus will be going down. Nixwater not in Mega Gnar form. Can't really do all too much. IG Legends tie this series up 1-1.
Definitely a better showing closing out the game 2 of this series. I have to give great credit to Hallelujah as well as Rune. Without the ganks that he was being succumbed to, I think he performed much better on this Ari in this game 2.
I mean, overall, Rune just did an exceptional job in both the games, holding his own in the mid lane, landing very crucial charms. And I have to say, LY4 really shines on cannon. And
yeah, he's going to be drawing cannon bans from now on.
He's going to be drawing lots of cannon bans. IGL shows that they're willing to first pick cannon into basically any top lane matchup.
Yeah, this is honestly working out for them very well. So GG to the Singaporean side, 1-1. So both teams are going to be coming away from this battle with 1 point each, excuse me, instead of 0 and 3. So very needed consolation point there.
Definitely. We will be back for match number 2 of the night. So don't go